Renee here from Tapping into a New Life. How are you today? Today I'm going to be I'm going to actually be drawing a comparison between our bodies and a computer, and to kind of explain how all the unexpressed emotions impact our bodies. So let's get started. All right, have you ever heard of the word malware? It can also be called a virus, like a computer virus. Well, the unexpressed emotions in our bodies can be compared to malware. And what malware does to a computer is installs some kind of program, installs some negative information that has a negative effect on your system. Computer virus, if you have a computer virus and you try to do something like all of a sudden, oh, now this won't work or that won't work, or oh my gosh, my computer is running so slowly, and you really have no idea why, but perhaps through, maybe you were hacked. Maybe, something happened, you downloaded something that included some malware with it. So now you've got this problem, and it kind of keeps getting progressively, and it just keeps getting progressively worse. One thing on top of another. Maybe you don't notice it right away, but after a while, it's just like, oh, nothing's running. And then at some point, hopefully not, you go to turn on your computer and you realize that it has crashed. And now now you're really stuck because now you don't have your computer. So you need to have the malware, the virus, removed from your computer. So in our bodies, our unexpressed emotions, all the stuff that's in our subconscious that bothers us, not the good stuff, because of course we have excellent memories and that's what always keeps us going. But you may have had some malware put into your body as a young kid. And as you know from my other videos, that we develop a lot of our fears, a lot of our beliefs about the world and about ourselves, and a lot of our stuff, this kind of stuff that we're dealing with now, most of it happened before you were 5 or 6 years old. So in the case of malware, someone has purposely done that, or someone has, purposely designed this thing to systematically destroy your computer. But the malware in our bodies, the unexpressed emotions, are very, very often things that we have no idea about how they got there. But they are there. They've been there. If you've had a trauma, if you have perhaps, if you just, whatever reason, don't have a, good self-esteem, you don't feel like you're worthy of things. These ideas, this malware has been planted in your body from a while ago, and it is certainly not your fault. You did not intentionally plant it there. But just let's think for 1 second. Think of all the things you see and witness during a day. Now imagine yourself as a 5 or 6 year old, picturing all this stuff that you see during the day, maybe some stuff you see on television, some stuff you see in your family, some stuff you see outside, and just think of how you would process, how a 5 or 6 year old is processing all this stuff that is hard for us as adults to process. I mean, there's so much craziness in the world sometimes that it's hard for us as adults to process it. So just think of when a 5 or 6 year old is processing it. They can't. So what happens is it turns into a fear. It turns into a limiting belief. Oh, it doesn't matter how much I try, nothing is ever going to work. Or no matter what I do, nothing is going to be good enough. And we carry this malware with us. We carry this computer virus in our bodies. And it starts really just picking at you and picking at you and getting, worse. Maybe you don't notice it. Maybe sometimes, oh, it's the thing in your neck, or maybe you have a tightness in your chest, but it goes away, or, maybe your knees are bugging you, but it goes away. But then maybe those same things come back and now they linger a little bit and then they go away. So, we kind of blow them off, but this is the malware working in your body. And eventually you may get to a point where you've been to the doctors. It's my stomach. My stomach's been bothering me forever. I don't know what's going on. You've been through tests. You've been through, people poking and prodding and making you drink some really icky stuff and sticking things where you really don't want things stuck in you. And you've gone through all these tests and procedures, and the doctor's like, I got nothing. So that's usually when people find me. It's, I've tried everything else. And when I tell you that emotional freedom technique, it's also called EFT or tapping, will remove the malware from your body, I can say that because I see it happen all the time. All the time. I see the relief. People have a memory that they just can't even bear. I'll give you a really quick example. working with a young man once who, when he was very young, before really his hippocampus, which is where your memory is stored, before your memory was really able to start storing stuff, he was like 2 or 3 years old. He remembers a fight between his parents where he was sitting in his high chair and a mug flew right across his face and, put a hole into the wall. And of course, he's a little kid. That will scare the crap out of anybody. Whether you're 2 or you're 52. That's some scary stuff. So we tapped on that. We did a few rounds, and he started at a 9 or a 9 out of 10. But after a couple of rounds, I said, okay, can you tune into that memory again? He was like, I remember it, but it's like I wasn't even there. So in this case, we removed that part of malware from his body, and whatever went along with that, whatever that was causing in his body, we removed that with EFT. And that's what I can do for you, and that's what other EFT practitioners can do for you. Acupuncture and acupressure are wonderful, wonderful for clearing your energy system. EFT goes just one step further and talks about the stuff, expresses it, and releases it so that it doesn't come back and bother you again. So I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoy. This one's a little tiny bit longer than usual, but I hope you enjoy. You can see the comparison between malware in a computer, wreaking havoc in a computer, and your unexpressed emotions, which come out as your limiting beliefs and your fears and your phobias and anxiety and stress. That's your malware at work. That's your malware is at work with that, monkey chatter in your head, telling you what, all this stuff that you don't even want to hear about yourself, and you just want it to shut up. That's your subconscious. That's where your malware is stored. We can release it with EFT. I hope you enjoyed this one. And as usual, I would love to work with you and get to know you a little bit and help release your malware so you can get your physical system functioning correctly. Because as like with a computer, when you remove the virus, your computer becomes healthy. When you remove the malware from your body then has a chance to do what it loves to do. It loves to heal itself. And when there's all that other stuff running around in it, and it's trying to get back to a balance, to what's called homeostasis, it's going to wreak havoc in your body. So let's remove the malware from your body so your body can get back to the place it wants to be, the healing machine that it is. Remove the stuff, express those emotions and remove them from your body, and you will see your physical health improve, and you will certainly see your energy improve now that you're not carrying around all that stuff you've been, that malware gets pretty heavy after a few years, after a few decades, it gets pretty heavy. So I am Renee from Tapping Into a New Life. You can log into my website and check my stuff out, check me out, or you can give me a call at 609-742-4155. Let's release that malware from your body and get it back to the place of healing where it wants to be. Thanks so much. Namaste.